Hey, what's up, y'all? This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Woo! It's a hot one today. No cloud coverage, really, like how it's supposed to be, for the most part. But yeah, this sun isn't playing. Holy cow. But I've also been out for hours. As you can see, I have been outside. But I just wanted to make a little continuation video about me humming today. And at the first area I was, grasshoppers came, and then some 62 beings came over there to like stop that energy, to stabilize the energy in the area, because animals were responding. Life was coming towards me, you know? I then moved eventually, and same thing happened. Grasshoppers started coming to me, but I put the thought out there, oh, please don't bite me. And then this grasshopper bit me, probably because I just had the word bite out there. These are some strong antennas. Whether you lock them or not, your crown charges up a lot of electricity. So I just need to be more mindful about not saying that. And I also told myself, if it happens again, let me try and say stop with my mind, because this is a powerful weapon, right? They were responding to the humming in my head. I wasn't doing anything out loud. I was singing also in my head, and they just started coming out of nowhere. I mean, the first place, there was easily over 5. There was over 10, because I looked behind me after I got up, and they were just hopping everywhere. I thought, oh my gosh. But the other experience I had, so, I've got a little down on myself just because I don't have a teacher. Obviously, none of us do. They took all this information away, so we have to go within. They tell us the truth. Oh, you have to go within. But make it damn near impossible. Make it impossible by having all of these roadblocks and diversions, right? Set up just in case someone comes across this information and actually starts doing the work. They don't tap in, not before, whenever, let's say, they have decided they will be ready in this energy cycle, when all of us are doing this work, whenever that is, be it sometime during the fall, winter, be it sometime during the fall, or be it, January. But I say that to say, like I said, I got a little down on myself. I can be my biggest enemy. Yeah, maybe not enemy, but like my biggest critic, and it just comes from a place of me caring. I also am aware that it's because of some of the trauma or abuse that I endured just in the orphanage, and then being a kid that was moved around before having a family that wasn't putting me back in the orphanage. Regardless, what happened the second time? So because of all that, I was just like, I sat down at this was the third place. After the second time, this grasshopper bit me, and more just started coming out of nowhere. Leaves just started rustling, and they started just, coming out. Like if this was a little, let's say it was a little flower bud, it just opened up. It wasn't a flower bud, but it was a leaf, and I heard this noise, and it just started opening up, and I was like, what just happened there? And then a grasshopper hopped out and started coming towards me. So after this second one bit me, and they were all starting to come towards me, and I put out this vibration, and I swatted it away, I went to this other place, and then there again, before I talk about what happened, there were some 62 beings that were over there that tried pulling me out of that moment, and shifting the energy, I'll say. So I went to a different place, and when that happened, immediately as I sat down, before I even started humming, grasshoppers started coming towards me. So I guess I sent out some type of vibration or frequency with my hands being, in contact with the land, with the ground, with the rock that I was sitting on. sent a deep enough frequency, a strong enough frequency to the other grasshoppers in the area. So I was just, like I said, a little down on myself, and I asked the Great Mother, what do I do? I ask for advice. Please give me advice. Give me a sign. Please give me some guidance. I ask for guidance. Don't give me anything, but I ask for guidance. Please, please, please help me. I need some help in reconnecting, And I just sat there, and this grasshopper was there, and then I took a second, and I was like, I don't think I'm ready. So, Great Mother responded, and these grasshoppers, slowly started going away, just like, okay, he's not ready yet. He needs a little break. But what happened? I just started humming in my head again. Lots of just hums, playing with the rhythm and the tune, the pacing, whether it was also high or low, just allowing it to be whatever it was. Just asking the air, the wind, what's the special song that you wish to sing right now, right here in this moment? It's different than the one that was just over there, less than 50 feet, but still, whole new space, whole new environment, different plant, different bush. What's the special song? So picked up on that and just allowed myself to open up more to myself. And breeze started flowing. I started humming. And then I felt something. Like I didn't know that it was a presence, but I felt something in my body. And then I looked a little more. I felt it like around here. And I looked over the little rock that I was sitting on, and I looked over the edge because I was looking right down. It was a deer. There was a deer right there. And as I was humming, the deer just stopped eating, stared at me the whole time. And then I just wanted to test it out, so I stopped humming again, went back to doing what it was doing. I then started humming again, looked right at me. I did this several times, and then, tried looking like I wasn't looking at the deer. And I had my hands again placed on the rock, so we're sending out that vibration to the ground. But clearly the deer was picking up on it. And I did it again, pretending like I wasn't looking at the deer, and the deer would immediately, and I kid you not, as I'm humming, it just picked up. And I'm not humming out loud. I'm not, Nope. I'm doing this. I'm humming in my head. Except in my head, that's what I was just doing. And the deer was picking up on the frequency, because we are telepathic. Wait till 2025, y'all. I think even in December, maybe even sooner. But it's getting turned back on to the fullest extent. We've always had, a little bit of access to it, but all the way, it's getting turned back on because of this Kundalini energy. But that's what kept happening, I feel it was a gift from the Great Mother in that moment. All right, well, if you don't feel comfortable with, this spirit and soul that keeps coming to you and gravitating towards your magnetism, let me send you a different being that you can interact with from a distance. And you can pick up on each other's frequencies. So I then kept humming and playing with the deer, and the deer couldn't decide if, she or he wanted to continue going down the path that they were going to go on or come up to me, because they kept making small steps towards me, but then lifting up the hoof and then putting it down, lifting it up, putting it down, lifting it up, putting it down. I should say leg. And, he didn't come to me. Few people kept passing me by, and so then I was like, let me walk further. And as I was walking down humming, the deer, I kid you not, was following that hum. Like the deer was going off in this direction, so a completely different direction. I choose to go down this way, which will then get me over here. The deer is going this way, diagonally. So it's then in front of me. and then I keep humming. Now at this part, when I'm on the flat ground instead of going down the staircases, I was humming in my head. Deer would keep looking at me, but then I would say the words, hey, great mother. But I'd do it with a little more rhythm and musicality in my head. Each time, the deer would stop what it was doing and look right at me. One time I didn't, and it didn't look. Every other time. I did it 5 times, I want to say. It looked right at me. And there was enough of a distance where it was like, okay, you could have looked over here, you could have looked over here, you're looking right at me. You're looking at my energy body. Which is so exciting. And so then I was, really wanting to go on communicate with the deer. But I was just like, I asked the great mother, should I go forward? Should I stay here? Give me a sign. The wind was blowing this way, and then the wind started blowing back this way, which was heading back to my vehicle. So I was like, okay, I swallowed my ego just because I really wanted to communicate with the animals, I know it's going to come in time, and I think it's a sign if that was the situation and occurrence that I had today with not 1 but 2 grasshoppers. Granted, there was more than that, but that was the specific event with 2. Then I need some more time to, filter that essentially outside of my body. And it will happen eventually. I trust, I trust in the divine. It will happen. So I swallowed my ego and just headed back. And as I was doing that, though, when I got to the place where I was initially, where I saw the deer, you won't believe it. Deer was following me. Or it was a completely different deer. The point is, that deer was actually walking up the way towards me as I was just humming. But once I, looked at it and saw it, then it was like, damn, now he's looking at me. Stage fright. And it started still walking up, but not coming towards me. Initially it was, though, but I didn't see it at first because I'm focused on just going up the stairs, finding my breath to go up the stairs. That's just where I was today. But yeah, the deer was following me and responding to me humming in my head. And then I did the great mother, hey, great mother, again, towards that deer. Looked right at me. So then, as it was going its way and I was going my way, still walking, coming down, I then passed by several people, kept humming in my head. Breeze kept blowing, at different parts of this trail on the way down, the pathway down. And I then went around the corner. It was around the part where the bathrooms are at this trail location. Another deer. It was either that exact same deer or it was a different deer. I think it could have been the same one. But started humming. But I thought it was a crazy sign. I think it actually might have been a different deer because it was coming up from closer to where my vehicle was. But regardless, that's, that was the day. And I kept finding them while I was humming. So the animals of Atlantis